Today I'm going to show you how to do a flatten method using a new language that was put in version 3.3 of Python and beyond. So you'll see here from PEP 380 there's a syntax for delegating a generator called a subgenerator, so that if you're in a generator you can delegate to another generator to create a sub-generation. And so to demonstrate this, we developed a flatten method, which is very useful unto itself. So flatten takes a list or something that has a nested structure, and it flattens it to one list. So in this case, we're creating a generator, so you would give it any iterator that had a nested structure, and it would flatten it and make it one list or one sequence. So the way we do this is we define flatten and we pass it at any iterator. And for the object in the iterator, first we check if it's also an iterator. So if it's also an iterator and not a string, because strings are actually recursive generators. If you take a sequence of a string, the first item is also a string, so it's a string that returns a string which returns a string if you keep calling it in nested iteration. So we have to check for that. And then here, if it is a iterator, we call flatten with the object, and it'll go down a level and unflatten that. So we use yield from, which will add this generation to the overall generator. If it's not an iterator, we just do your normal yield on the object. So this small piece of code will flatten almost any structured sequence. So here we have a sequence of list, and I threw in a tuple, and we can see it work. And then we dealing with more complex things. We have a range, a set, and some strings. So I have a set here called S. So I create a structure with some numbers, some floats, a range, and a string, and the set. So let's run all this, and you can see it flattened this to a list here. It's actually flattening it to a new generator or iterator, so I have to call list on what it returns to actually convert it to a list to print it. And here we flatten this more complex structure, and you can see it's flattened it all to a single list. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my videos.